You don't feel the cold at first, not because it isn't there. Oh, it is, but because the shock of everything else hits you harder. The wind, sharp as broken glass, the salt thick in the air, clinging to your tongue, the sirens crying from somewhere deeper in town, voices of metal and panic rising and falling like mechanical ghosts. And beneath it all, the smell. Flood mud, rotting wood, seaweed, diesel, a cocktail of ruin that has soaked so deeply into this coastal town that you doubt even time will rinse it clean again. You stand ankle deep in brown water, swirling around your boots. Your jeans cling to your legs. Your breath forms a weak steam in the air. The storm passed only an hour ago, leaving behind the kind of silence that doesn't comfort, one that feels like a held breath, an unfinished sentence. Then you hear it. A soft splash. Your dog, thin, mud-plastered, fur clumped into wild ridges, emerges from behind a toppled streetlight. He carries something in his mouth, something heavy, something darkened by water and sand. A book! No! A diary! He trudges toward you with slow, deliberate steps, as if delivering something fragile. You watch the way his jaw tightens, the way his eyes flick toward the storm-blasted houses lining the street. You've seen him bring you scraps before. Food, cloth, things he thinks you need, but never anything like this. He lays the diary at your feet, then steps back. You kneel, water rippling around your knees, and pick it up. The cover is swollen, warped, soft at the edges. Pages cling to each other like wilted leaves. Torn ribbon hangs from the spine. You drag your thumb across the surface, smearing a line of mud. You shouldn't care. You don't even know whose it is. But something. Maybe the way the dog trembles, maybe the faint scent of lavender trapped beneath the rot makes your chest tighten. You found this? You whisper. He lowers his head. Not in fear, not in confusion, in recognition. It's the same look he gives when he finds something familiar. An old alley, a friendly fisherman, a place you once camped for a night. A look that says, I know this. But how could he know this diary? And why does the sight of it make something ancient and aching stir inside you? You flip the cover open. A page falls free, drifting into the water like a feather. Ink bleeds across it, but you catch a few words, scratched by a hand that wrote in a hurry or fear or desperation. If anyone finds this, the rest is gone, swallowed by the storm. Your dog whines, low, uncertain. His ears perk sharply. His gaze darts toward a house half collapsed on its side, roof sunken like a broken spine. You follow his eyes. A shutter creaks in the wind. Mud slides off a splintered porch. And there, beneath the drowned debris, you see a smear of something bright, something red. It could be paint, could be a torn cloth, could be blood. But the dog doesn't growl, doesn't approach like a predator sensing prey. Instead, he sits, rigid, alert, worried. You run your fingers through the fur at his neck. Normally, he leans into your touch, pressing warmth into your palm. Not now. His muscles twitch under your hand, braced as if listening for something you cannot hear. You know this place? You ask him. The question startles you. The words feel wrong in your mouth, as if you shouldn't have asked them. He looks up at you, and in his eyes, dark, round, reflecting the gray sky, you see a flicker of something that almost feels like memory. Not his, yours. A memory you don't recall ever living. The sirens fade into the distance, swallowed by damp air. Your fingers tighten around the diary. As you stand, the water deepens around your calves. The street slopes downward, toward the collapsed house, toward whatever waits beneath the broken timber and tangled fishing nets. You take a step, then another. Your boots sink into the mud. The dog follows closely, not at your side, but behind you, as if guiding you by staying near your heels, nudging your path without leading it. You've wandered through dozens of towns in your life, slept under bridges, in abandoned sheds, in alleys behind closed restaurants. But something about this place, this drowned street, this ruined house pulls at you. It feels like a place you left unfinished, like a sentence you started years ago but never completed. The wind shifts. You hear rattling, metal against metal coming from the house, a loose chain maybe, or a door trying to close itself. The dog's ears shoot up again, and he edges forward, steps careful, tail stiff. You grip the diary tightly enough that your knuckles throb. You reach the porch. Its wooden planks sag under your weight, groaning with waterlogged fatigue. A wave of cold rushes beneath you, as if the whole structure exhales. The smear of red is clearer now. Not blood, fabric. A child's jacket, yellow raincoat material streaked with mud and grime, torn at the shoulder, wedged beneath fallen beams. Something squeezes around your ribs, quick and sharp. You don't know why. You never had a child. You never knew one who wore a jacket like this. So why does the sight force your breath to falter? The dog edges past you, nose twitching furiously. He inches toward the jacket, then stops abruptly, paws frozen above the wet wood as if crossing some invisible boundary. His body goes still, then his eyes widen. He looks at the door. So do you. It's slightly open, just a sliver, just enough for darkness to breathe through it. Just enough for a thin trickle of water to drip from the threshold in steady, rhythmic beats. You push your hand against the doorframe. The wood is soft, nearly pulp. The diary in your other hand presses against your ribs, damp, heavy, insistent. Inside the house, something shifts, a soft thud, then another. Not heavy enough to be a person, not light enough to be debris sliding. Rhythmic, repeating, like footsteps trying to learn how to walk again. You swallow hard, tasting salt and grit. The dog growls, not at the sound, at the diary. His gaze is locked onto it, not the doorway. A low, trembling rumble rises from his chest, but his eyes look scared. You turn the diary over, flipping to the back. A name is written in faded ink. You run your thumb across it, tracing the smeared letters. The dog whines, pressing his head against your hip, as if trying to stop you from reading it. The wind fades. The air holds still. You blink rainwater or something else from your lashes and lean closer, trying to make out the name. At first, it blurs. Then it sharpens. The letters form slowly, painfully, as if defying their own existence. And when you finally read them, your heart stutters, because the name written there is yours. The letters on the back of the diary don't change. You wait for them to smear into nonsense, for the water to swell the ink into formless shadows, for your mind to admit this is just a trick of light and exhaustion. But the name stays there. Your name, the full version, the one no one uses anymore. The one that hasn't passed another person's lips in, you're not even sure how long. Out here, the world calls you other things. Hey, you! Buddy! Man! Move along. This is different. This is pointed, precise, intimate. Your dog presses closer, shoulder against your thigh, a quiet anchor in the shifting murk. His fur is chilled, soaked through. You can feel him shiver, not from the wind, but from something else. Something that started the moment you touched this diary. You turn it over again. Your fingers are stiff. The edges of the pages cling to your skin like wet petals. You peel them apart carefully, prying the book open somewhere near the middle. Water blurs the ink. Sentences dissolve into ghosts. But one line stands out, stubborn and black, refusing to fade. The storm is coming back for us. He says we don't have much time. You read it twice. You glance up at the sky. The clouds above the ruined town sit low and swollen, heavy with color the way bruises are. The earlier storm left its signature across the horizon, but for now, the air feels paused, held, like everything is waiting to see what you'll do next. You flip forward. More pages are ruined, ink melted into Rorschach stains. Here and there, shakes form words. Don't forget the dog knows we should have left when? The rest dissolves. The dog nudges your hand suddenly, nose cold against your wrist. You look down. His eyes aren't on you. They're on the house, the door still cracked open, the darkness inside, patient. Yeah, you murmur. I know. You don't, really. You don't know what you're doing here or why your muscles are already tensing to move closer instead of turning away. You tell yourself it's curiosity, that it's boredom, that it's just another ruined place to scavenge. But the truth is buried deeper than that, under layers of years you spent moving and not looking back. Because every now and then, on nights when you found some shelter from the rain and the wind and the disinterest of people with doors that close, you felt something tug at you, like a tide, pointing somewhere you couldn't name. You just never expected it to have handwriting. You tuck the diary under your arm, fingers still wedged between the damp pages so it can't close fully, as if letting it snap shut would seal something you're not ready to lock away yet. The dog whines. You can stay out here, you tell him softly. I'll just take a look. He doesn't move. He's not going to let you go alone. You step forward and ease the door open. It resists at first, swollen wood scraping against the warped floor, then gives suddenly, swinging inward with a wet sigh. A trickle of water spills past your boots, searching for a way out. The smell hits you immediately. Inside, the damp is worse. It smells of soaked wallpaper, mold working in silence, wet insulation, and underneath that, fainter but still there. The old, settled scent of a life once lived here. Detergent, cooked fish, a sweetness you can't place, maybe a perfume or candle that fought a losing battle against time. Your eyes adjust slowly as you step into the dark. Light filters through broken windows, fractured into ribbons by hanging curtains and shattered glass. Dust floats in the air even here, stubborn despite all the water, catching the pale beams like tiny drifting embers. Furniture lies on its side, legs jutting up like broken bones. A table rests against the wall at a strange angle, one corner submerged in standing water. Family photos have slid from their hooks and now float face down near the doorway like nameless rafts. You don't flip them! Not yet! Your dog hesitates at the threshold, then steps in, paws splashing gently. His nails click faintly on patches of exposed tile. The house seems to listen. You feel watched, but not by eyes in the corners or shadows on the ceiling, by the past, by whoever wrote in the diary you're clutching so tightly your fingers stop aching the way limbs do when they forget they're cold. You move toward the living room, or what used to be one. Soggy cushions, a TV with a spiderweb crack across the screen, a shelf half collapsed, spilling books into the water. One lies open, pages splayed like a drowned bird. Another remains tucked in place, protected by the shelf above it. The dog veers off suddenly, nose twitching, and nudges at something near an overturned chair. You follow. It's a shoe. Tiny. Saturated and heavy, the fabric darkened. A child's sneaker with faded stars along the side, one of the laces caught under a splinter of wood, the yellow of the jacket on the porch. The small shoe here. You should leave. This isn't your story. It belongs to someone else. Someone who stood where you're standing and shouted and cried and begged the world not to take what it was determined to swallow. You're just passing through. That's what you've always been. A moving shadow, a body in transit, a person without a fixed point on any map. So why won't your feet back up? The dog noses the shoe again, then looks at you. His gaze holds a question you cannot answer. You sigh and shift the diary back into your hand, letting it fall open where your fingers parted the pages. This time, you don't try to control it. The book decides for you, spilling itself to a page nearer the front. The paper here is less ruined, the ink darker, as if the floodwaters only skimmed its edge. You squint at the first readable line. We brought him home today. The shelter said he'd been wandering for months, nobody claiming him, like he was waiting for someone specific. Your heart gives a little lurch. You look at the dog. He tilts his head. You continue reading. He followed you straight away, remember? Like he recognized you. Sat by your bed and refused to move. I think he knew before we did that this place might not be home for long. The words settle into you like stones dropped into still water, sending rings outward. The dog moves closer, breath warm against your wrist as if trying to read along. You whisper, it's ridiculous. Dogs don't live that long. The pen strokes on this paper look old but not ancient. The flood damage is recent. The storm that tore through this town was this week, not years ago. It doesn't make sense. You flip to the top of the page. The handwriting at the date line is smaller, more careful. You read the numbers and the world tilts. The date is from long before the storm, long before today, long before you can clearly remember being anyone, not just homeless. Not just wandering, before you became the walking gap where a life should be. You don't remember much from before the years of drifting, just shapes, tastes, a laugh you can't place, a room with blue walls. Maybe it might be yours. It might belong to someone you passed once in a bus station and absorbed by accident. Your past is a puzzle missing most of its pieces. This diary, though, it writes like it knows you. You said you liked the way he watched the door, the next line reads, like he was waiting for something bad and daring it to try. You close your eyes, a flash. You, younger, sitting on a floor somewhere, your hand buried in thick fur. A dog's head in your lap. Not this one, or maybe this one, but different, fuller, brighter, with a collar instead of a ragged strip of cloth. You see yourself laughing. The sound is unfamiliar and sharp in your ears like someone else is inhabiting your throat. Then it's gone. The dog whimpers, bringing you back. You open your eyes. The diary waits. You turn the page. The town keeps warning us about the water. Says the sea's been creeping up year after year. You say storms are just storms, that we'll ride them out like always. You're not afraid of waves. You're afraid of leaving. You think of all the places you've left, or that left you, or that you never had a chance to hold it all. Who wrote this? You murmur. The question floats through the room, brushing the walls, slipping into the corners. There's no answer, except a faint sound from somewhere deeper in the house. A drip? No, a rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. Like knuckles on wood, a foot on a stair. A pattern trying to become a message. The dog's ears pivot. He turns toward a narrow hallway leading away from the living room where the darkness thickens. You look down at the photo frame still floating near the entryway. One has bumped against your boot, turning over lazily until the image faces you. A man, a woman, a little kid in between them wearing a yellow jacket with stars on the pockets. Behind them, the sea stretches out, calm and blue, as if incapable of the violence it later unleashed. You don't recognize their faces. You don't recognize your own, because that's what jolts you. The kid, older than in the photo maybe, you can't be sure. The features don't line up perfectly in your mind, but there is something in the angle of the chin, the curl of the hair, the way the eyes tilt up at the outer corners. Something disturbingly, intimately familiar. Your stomach folds in on itself. You step back. Water sloshes. You know what you should do. Drop the diary. Walk out. Leave this house to its ghosts and its ruined furniture and its drowned memories. Let the storm aftermath bury everything in silt and forgetfulness. You survived this long by not digging where it hurts, by letting your past stay a rumor you refuse to chase. Tap, tap, tap. The sound comes again, more insistent from the darkness of the hall. Your dog looks from the shadow to you. Then, slowly, he walks forward, not happy, not eager. Each step looks like a choice he doesn't want to make, but makes anyway. You stand at the threshold of the hallway, heart hammering so hard your fingertips tingle. The air here is colder, squeezed by walls that close in as if trying to keep their secrets from escaping. You know that crossing this line will change something. You can feel it. If you keep walking, this will stop being just another ruined house in another ruined town. It will become your house, or their house, or someone's house you once promised never to forget. You realize you're shaking, not violently, just enough that the diary trembles in your grip, pages whispering against each other. You think of all the nights you lay awake under bridges, trying not to think about where you came from. What if this place holds the answer? What if it doesn't? Your foot hovers over the first warped floorboard of the hallway. The dog pauses a few paces in, glancing back at you with an expression you've learned to read after so many miles together. He's asking, "Are we really doing this?" You inhale slowly. The air tastes of mildew and something faintly sweet, like old birthday cake long gone to waste, celebration curdled into decay. "Yeah," you whisper, surprised at your own voice. "We are." Your boot comes down. The floor creaks. Behind you, the open doorway to the outside world feels suddenly too far away. Ahead of you, the tapping stops. Then, from the far end of the hallway, something answers instead. A soft bark, high, uncertain, distant. Your dog goes rigid. The fur along his spine rises in a visible wave. Because you both know something neither of you should be able to know. That bark sounds exactly like his. The bark echoes down the hallway and dies too quickly, as if the walls swallowed it whole. Your dog freezes mid-step. His ears stand rigid, tail low but not tucked, body caught between fight and flight. You can feel his uncertainty through the stillness of the air, the way he doesn't breathe for a moment, waiting for the sound to come again. It doesn't. Only the soft drip of water from somewhere deeper inside the house fills the silence. You step forward, boots squelching against the soggy floorboards. The hallway stretches ahead like the throat of some drowned creature, narrowing the farther it goes. Wallpaper peels in curling strips, revealing swollen plaster beneath. A family photo hangs lopsided, half submerged where the water rose high enough to stain it. You don't look at the faces, not yet. Your dog inches ahead of you, but only by a single step. He stays close enough that his flank brushes your calf every few seconds, a silent admission he's not sure what waits ahead. Neither are you. Your grip on the diary tightens. The damp leather cover sticks slightly to your palm, and you swear the book has grown heavier, as though the storm water soaking its pages has absorbed more than rain. You lift it again, thumb pushing the swollen pages apart, hoping for another clue, another answer, anything that might explain the impossible bark that came from the darkness. The book opens somewhere near the beginning this time. A date, smudged but readable, years ago, longer than your dog should have been alive, longer than you can clearly remember anything. You read the first intact sentence. He follows you everywhere now, even when he shouldn't, even when you tell him to stay. I think he knows something's coming. Your breath stumbles, not because of the words themselves, but because you can picture it too easily. A dog following you from room to room, devoted, unwilling to let you out of his sight. You look down at the dog beside you. He meets your gaze, and for a moment, just a brush of sensation, something faint, half memory, half instinct. You feel the weight of another life pressing against the inside of your skull. A life where this animal wasn't a stranger found on the road, but a companion who knew you before you knew loss. You close the diary quickly. The air shifts. A gust moves through the hallway from the rooms ahead, cold, sharp, carrying the scent of something metallic. Not blood, not exactly. More like old rust, wet steel, the hollow smell of long-closed spaces reopened by force. Your dog steps into the narrow hall fully now, paws splashing. You follow. The tapping you heard earlier is gone, replaced by an uneasy quiet that feels thicker the deeper you walk. The hallway turns slightly to the right, leading into a main corridor lined with closed doors. Water laps at the base of each one. Some swollen wood bulges outward as though something inside has been pushing. You test the first door gently. It doesn't budge. Water trickles from beneath it. The second door gives an inch, then stops, trapped behind something heavy on the other side. The third door, half open already, leans crookedly on a broken hinge. The bark came from deeper in, past these. You press on. Your dog stops abruptly at the fourth door. He doesn't growl, doesn't bark, doesn't whine. He simply stands there staring at the bottom edge where the water is completely still, as if whatever happened inside that room froze time itself. You reach down and brush your fingers along his back. His fur bristles. "Okay," you whisper. "We'll check it." The door doesn't resist when you push it open. It swings inward with a quiet creak, revealing a bedroom almost untouched by the chaos outside. Untouched, yet changed. Clothes float in slow circles on the surface of the pooled water. A dresser lies on its side, drawers gaping open. A bed sits against the wall, blankets drenched, pillow half submerged. The window above it is shattered, letting in thin lines of light that cut across the water in shimmering silver strokes. But your eyes land on something else. On the far wall, half drowned but unmistakable, is a mural. Children's drawings, layer upon layer of them, like years of memory stacked in crayon and marker and pencil. Waves. Boats, dogs, stick figures with messy hair, a little house with a red roof, a sun with too many rays. Your throat tightens as you walk closer. One drawing near the top catches your eye. A crude sketch of a person, arms outstretched, with a dog drawn beside them, its fur colored in dark brown scribbles. Your dog sits at your feet staring at it. You kneel beside him. "It looks like you murmur. He doesn't react. Not fear, not recognition. Something else, something deeper. You move along the mural, eyes skimming over the overlapping drawings until you find a cluster that looks newer, more detailed, ink rather than crayon. You lean closer. The images show the sea rising, waves bigger each time, a house on stilts, a child standing at the porch, a dog sitting beside them, a storm looming overhead, and below one of the images, written carefully in small letters, "He says he'll come back for us if we're separated," he promised. Dogs don't forget. Your dog nudges you gently, breaking the trance. You blink. The air feels heavier. The room tilts slightly, just a ripple under your feet as though the house is reacting to your presence. You step back from the wall, the diary slipping slightly in your grasp. A floorboard pops underwater. Your dog's head jerks toward the sound. Something shifts beneath the bed. You freeze! He doesn't bark. He doesn't move. His eyes narrow at the darkness beneath the mattress. You crouch slowly, letting your knees sink into the water. Your fingers brush along the damp bed frame. You lift the edge of the sheet. At first, you see nothing. Then, a reflection. Two small circular glints. Eyes. Not glowing, not supernatural, just staring. From beneath the bed, half submerged in water, a second dog stares back at you. Its fur is soaked to the skin, white in some places, dark in others. Its ribs show beneath the matted hair. Its paws press the floor weakly, as though it's too exhausted to stand. Your heart kicks against your ribs. Your own dog takes a step forward, cautious, uncertain, nose twitching rapidly. The drowned dog under the bed lets out a faint, broken bark, the same pitch as the one you heard earlier. You lift the mattress higher, water sloshing, and the dog drags itself forward, crawling with trembling limbs until its head breaks free of the shadows. It looks between you and your dog, and in its eyes, clouded but alive, you see recognition. Not fear, recognition. You reach toward it. It flinches but doesn't retreat. "Hey," you whisper, voice cracking. "It's okay. We're not here to hurt you." Your dog circles the newcomer, sniffing, tail low, watching carefully like he's gauging whether this is a friend returned or a ghost resurrected. You touch the soaked fur. Cold, so cold. You slide your hands beneath its body, lifting it gently. It's lighter than you expect, bones wrapped in thin skin, weighed down only by water and fatigue. The dog lets out a whimper that vibrates against your palms. Your dog whines back, a soft, familiar sound you've heard him make only when he's afraid for someone else. You hold the weakened dog close. Its head rests against your chest. And then, so faint you almost miss it, you hear a tiny sound slip from its throat. A sound that's not a whine, not a bark. A sigh, a relieved sigh, as if it has been waiting for you for a long time. Too long. Your dog noses the diary in your arm suddenly, pressing insistently. You open it with one hand, careful not to jostle the trembling animal draped against you. The pages fall to a section near the end, not the ruined middle, but the part where the writer's handwriting becomes frantic, hurried, ink denting the paper as though time was running out. One line stands out. If he finds the other one, then everything we tried to protect will resurface. You have to remember, please, before the storm takes the last of us. Your stomach drops. The other one. You look at the weakened dog in your arms. You look at the dog standing beside you, staring with silent recognition. Two dogs. One you know. One you've never seen. One alive but fading. One alive and trembling. And both seem to know more about this house, about you, than you know about yourself. Suddenly, the house groans, a deep, visceral sound as though something beneath the floor is shifting. The water ripples outward in a wide circle. Dust shakes from the ceiling. A second groan follows. Your dog barks sharply, stepping between you and the hallway. The weakened dog in your arms stirs weakly, shivering. The diary falls open again. A sentence stares up at you through water-stained ink. The floor shifts again, this time harder. Not a gentle groan. Not the quiet settling of a damaged house. But a jolt, a shove from beneath, as though something deep in the foundation just rolled over in its sleep. Water sloshes violently across the bedroom floor, splashing your knees. The weakened dog in your arms lifts its head weakly, whimpers, then buries its face against your chest as if trying to disappear inside you. Your other dog barks, sharp, urgent, then snaps his gaze to the hallway behind you. The sound comes again, a creak, a crack, a low, grinding slide. The hallway is moving. You don't understand at first. Not until you turn and see the far end of the corridor tilt, barely a few inches, but enough to make the standing water ripple all the way down its length. You look at the diary. If the hallway starts to shift, run. Your heart punches your ribs. Okay, you whisper, voice tight, breath short. Okay, we're going. You stand, lifting the weakened dog higher against your body. It weighs almost nothing now, more memory than muscle. Your good dog circles your legs once, impatient, anxious, then sprints toward the doorway. You follow. The house seems to pulse around you, the walls shivering with each creak from deep below. Floorboards flex beneath your boots. One cracks as you step over it, water spurting up like blood from a wound. Hold on, you murmur to the trembling body in your arms. You don't know who you're saying it for. You don't know if you're talking to the dog, or to yourself, or to whatever part of you is waking up inside your bones. You move into the hallway. Immediately, the floor tilts more sharply, and you stagger, catching yourself with your shoulder against the wall. Wallpaper sloughs off where you touch it, wet paste smearing your skin. Your dog barks again. He's already at the other end of the hall, paws splashing as he waits for you, tail low and stiff, an unspoken hurry. You quicken your steps, the floor groans. Something beneath it scrapes, a long, dragging sound that vibrates through your feet, then your spine, then the back of your skull. You don't know what can make a sound like that. You don't want to know. Halfway down the corridor, you feel the house dip suddenly. You pitch forward. Your shoulder hits a door frame hard enough to send pain shooting down your arm. The weakened dog whimpers. You clamp your grip tighter, murmuring, "Apologies. You hope it understands." Your good dog whines urgently, spinning in nervous circles. Something moves in the water. Not debris, not drift, movement. A current pulls at your boots, subtle at first, then stronger. It tugs in the direction of the farthest room, the room you haven't checked yet, the one you instinctively avoided when you first entered the hallway. The current feels intentional, like the house is breathing inward, trying to pull you deeper. "No," you whisper, "not going that way." You plant your foot, pushing against the flow. The current strengthens. The walls shudder. A crack snakes up the plaster beside you. Water pours from the opening in a thin, continuous stream. Your dog barks so loud it cuts through everything. The current falters. Just enough. You bolt toward him, sloshing through the brown water, legs burning with the effort of holding both yourself and the shaking creature in your arms upright. The floor tilts again. You almost fall. But your dog runs back toward you, weaving between your legs, lending just enough pressure against your calf to steady you. "Good boy," you breathe. The words feel old, familiar. Something inside your ribs aches with the memory of saying them before, to another dog, or the same one, but younger, brighter, with time still ahead of him. You reach the end of the hallway just as the floor behind you gives way with a heavy, sucking crash. Water surges, pulling backward into the sudden opening. The vacuum drags debris, broken furniture, an entire dresser swallowed in seconds. You don't look back. Your dog pushes the last door open with his nose. You rush into the next room and stop dead. The room is dry, not untouched by the storm. Its windows are broken, its furniture overturned, its wallpaper curled like scorched paper, but dry. The moment you cross the threshold, the water stops at your heels, as if something invisible forms a barrier behind you. You set the weakened dog down gently on a patch of dry floor. It curls in on itself, shivering, wheezing faintly. Your other dog stays pressed against your leg, not protecting himself, but shielding the frailer one. You finally look around. This room, you know it, not from memory, not from the diary, from something older, deeper. Instinctive. A desk sits in the corner, a chair overturned beside it. Papers float on the surface of a bucket of rainwater leaking from the ceiling, pages covered in handwriting as familiar as your own. Your eyes land on a wall covered in photographs, watermarked, dirty, torn, but visible. You move closer. The first photo shows a man standing on the beach. You can't see his face clearly. The damage blurs it, but his shape, his stance, the tilt of his head, your stomach twists. He stands like you. The dog beside him looks like yours. The next photo is of a small house, this house, before the ocean began claiming it. The next is of a family, 3 figures you saw in the floating frame earlier. But this version isn't half submerged or stained. It's clear. A woman smiling, hair windswept, a child laughing, holding a seashell, a dog sitting proudly in front of them. Not your dog, but close enough they could be related. The weakened dog whimpers again, lifting its head toward the photo. Recognition flashes in its eyes. You lift the diary with shaking fingers. A bookmarked page flops open, one you've never seen before, though your thumb wasn't holding this section at all. It's dated the same year as the photos. You read. If you're reading this, then the storm took everything we couldn't carry, including you. Your pulse spikes. You said you'd come back. I believed you. I told him you would. He held onto that promise like it was the only thing keeping the sea from taking him too. Your mouth goes dry. Your dog nudges your knee, watching carefully. You turn the page. If the house starts shifting, it means the foundation is coming apart. It means the last thing we hid is surfacing. You stare at the wall of photos again. One picture stands out. A family at the beach, woman, child, dog, standing beside a man whose face the water hasn't washed away completely. You look closer. At first you think you're imagining it, but no. You see your own features, not perfectly. Younger, sharper, a different haircut, more weight in the face, but unmistakably you. Your hands go numb. The diary shakes in your grip. You read the next line. You left us before the waters rose. You said you had to. But you promised you'd find your way back. I hope to God you did, for his sake. You lower the book. The room tilts. Your dog whines and presses closer. The weakened dog drags itself toward you, barely able to move. And then something slams beneath the floor, hard, so hard the board under your foot pops upward. Your dog snaps toward the sound, teeth bared in a rare, instinctive snarl. The weakened dog lets out a scared yelp. The diary falls open, one more page on its own. A single sentence sits alone in the center, written with such force the letters carved into the page behind it. He'll be looking for you now. The floorboard under your boot rises a full inch before settling again with a warped wooden gasp, like something beneath it exhaled. Your dog growls, a low, primal sound that vibrates through his ribs and into your leg. You've heard him bark in warning. You've heard him whine in fear. But this sound is different. This is a sound from an older world, from dogs who once slept in caves and bristled at the things that moved in the dark. You swallow hard. The weakened dog drags itself closer, ribs trembling. You kneel, sliding one arm under its frail body. Its fur is cold and slick, and its heartbeat feels like the tick of a dying clock. Faint, uneven, struggling to continue. Easy, you whisper. I've got you. The house creaks again. No, not the house. Something beneath it. The water on the floor ripples in a perfect circle outward from the dip in the boards. Your dog steps in front of you, body angled protectively. His legs are shaking, but he holds his ground. You tighten your grip on the diary. Your eyes flick across the words again. He'll be looking for you now. You wish you knew who he was. Wish you knew if this warning was meant for the man you were or the man you became. You look up at the wall of photographs again. You, a woman you cannot remember. A child you do not recognize. A dog that isn't either of the two in this room but somehow connected to them both. It hits you then, not all at once, but like the first heavy drop before a downpour. A feeling, not recognition, not memory, but loss. A hollow ache behind your ribs, as if some old injury long ignored is beginning to pulse again. You tear your eyes away and lift the weakened dog fully into your arms. It doesn't resist. It simply collapses against you like it's been waiting for this. Your other dog nudges your leg urgently. A warning, move! Before the house finishes waking, you stand and take one step toward the doorway. The floor drops an inch. You stumble. Your dog barks, pushing you back with his shoulder before you fall through the sudden dip. The weakened dog whimpers in your arms. You look down. The crack in the floor widens. Water gushes through it. Then, a hand breaks the surface. You freeze. A A hand, gray, bloated, fingers swollen, nails pale, reaches blindly up through the widening crack. Your breath collapses in your lungs. The hand gropes for anything to hold. Wood, waterlogged beams, a nail, your boot. You jerk your foot back as the fingers scrape the surface where you stood. Your dog snarls so loud it shakes the room. The hand closes, and then another hand rises beside it, then a forearm, then a shoulder. A figure begins to pull itself up through the floor. You stumble backward, clutching the weakened dog tight against your chest. No, no, no! You don't know what you're refusing. The sight, the truth, the possibility that someone drowned beneath the house and is only now surfacing, or something worse, something that knows your name before you ever read it in a diary. The figure emerges further, water streaming off its body like broken waterfalls. Your dog steps between you and the shape, hackles standing tall, teeth bared. The figure lifts its head. You've never seen this person before, but your body reacts like you have. Your stomach twists, your chest locks, your fingers go numb. His face is swollen, skin pale from water exposure, features distorted by decay and flooding. But behind the waterlogged ruin of him, there are echoes, something in his jawline. The angle of his cheek, the slope of his brow. You've seen those shapes in the photographs on the wall, not his exact face, but the shadow of it, the version of him that once laughed on the porch steps, the version of him holding the child in the yellow raincoat, the version of him with a dog at his feet. You know without knowing, this was the father of the child in the photos, the man whose home this was, the man who wrote in the diary. You step backward instinctively. The weakened dog presses its face into your chest, trembling violently. The man, or the thing wearing the man, lifts his head fully, his eyes open, cloudy, white, empty. But when his mouth opens, a voice drags itself through water and rot. Your dog lunges before you can react. He hits the figure with full force, teeth snapping inches from the bloated hand. The man collapses backward through the weakened floorboards, sinking into the water below. For a split second, you think it's over. Then, his hand shoots up again and grabs your dog's leg. Your dog yelps, "No!" You drop to your knees, nearly slipping as you grab your dog's scruff with one hand and brace your boot against the wood with the other. You pull hard. The figure below drags harder. The floor cracks more, boards splitting outward from the strain. Cold water splashes your face. The hand pulls lower, slow but relentless, as if nothing on earth could loosen its grip. Your dog's claws scramble for purchase. You pull harder. Your leg buckles. You almost lose him. Then, the weakened dog in your arms twists suddenly, gathering what little strength it has left. It lets out a sound. Not a bark, not a whine, but a broken howl, thin, fragile, fading at the edges, but piercing with emotion you don't understand. The figure below the floor stops, freezes. The hand loosens, just barely, but enough. Your dog rips free and scrambles back, limping, shaking hard. You drag the weakened dog away too, clutching it tight, backing toward the doorway. The man below the floor sinks slowly, soundlessly, as if pulled by some unseen force beneath the water. Within seconds, he is gone. Only ripples remain. You stand there, breath jittering, heart tearing at your ribs, sweat mixing with rainwater on your face. Your dog limps to your side. You touch his head gently. He leans into your leg, trembling. The weakened dog lies in your arms, its body exhausted from the howl it forced out. You look down at it. Its eyes stare past you, unfocused. But its breathing hasn't stopped. You whisper softly, "Who were you calling for?" Your own question burns you from the inside. The diary waits in your other hand. You lift it slowly. Pages flutter, not by wind, not by accident, flipping to a page you haven't seen yet, a page near the back. You read. If he rises, it means the water brought him back before he could finish what he meant to do. You swallow. He didn't want to hurt us. The sea changed him. The storm took what was left. If you ever return, please don't blame him. Your throat tightens. Your dog whines softly and nudges your knee again. There is one more line. He went under trying to protect the child. If you find the second dog, then the child can't be far. Your blood turns to ice. The child, still here, somewhere in this house, or beneath it, or beyond it. Your dog steps toward the hallway, nose high, body leaning forward, as if catching a scent just beginning to return. You turn. The water in the hall has receded slightly. Not drained, moved, shifted, as though something small waded through it moments ago. Your heart hammers so hard you feel it in your teeth. "We're finding them," you whisper. Your dog barks once, short and decisive. The weakened dog's breathing steadies just enough that you know it's still alive. You tighten your grip on the diary and step back into the shifting hall. Your boots hit the hallway and the air feels different, colder, thinner, like the whole house is holding its breath. Water ripples outward from where you step, forming perfect rings, as if something small passed through moments ago, disturbing it in a way you can still feel in the bones of the building. Your dog lowers his nose to the surface, inhaling shallow, deliberate breaths. He's tracking something. Not fear now, instinct, purpose. A scent he knows the shape of, even if you do not. You shift the weakened dog in your arms. Its fur drips steadily, leaving a thin trail behind you. Its breath rasps, too faint, too slow, but steady, a fragile thread connecting it to this world. You keep one hand curled around it, fingers splayed to feel every rise in its chest, every tremor. "We're close," you whisper. Your voice sounds strange here, contained, small. Your dog turns down the hallway, paws moving fast despite the limp. You follow, stepping carefully to keep your balance as the floor dips again. The house seems to react to your movement, as if following you or guiding you. The hallway splits into two. Left, a narrow passage leading toward what looks like the kitchen. Right, a wider corridor ending in a door with peeling white paint and a broken doorknob. Your dog chooses right. He stops before reaching the door. Not in hesitation, in focus. His head tilts up, and then you hear it too, a sound from behind the door, a voice. Not a whisper, not the groan of shifting wood, not the scrape of something dragging itself across wet floorboards. A hum, soft, gentle, childlike. A melody with no words, just a rise and fall of notes that loop back into themselves. The weakened dog in your arms lifts its head a fraction, eyes clouded but suddenly alert. It knows this sound. Your breath shakes. Is that? You never finish the question. A small shadow moves under the door, a pair of feet, bare, light. Stepping close enough that the floorboards creak, your dog goes completely still. The hum stops. Then, small knuckles tap the door from the other side. Not frantic, not afraid, a rhythmic pattern. 3 taps, a pause, 2 taps. You've heard that pattern before. Recently. Tap, 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 tap. The sound you thought was the house shifting. The sound that had moved through the water toward the back of the hall. You swallow hard, tasting salt. You reach for the doorknob. The metal hangs loosely, barely attached. The paint flakes under your fingertips. Your hand shakes, not from cold, but from something deeper. You twist. The knob gives way. The door swings inward with a soft whine, and the world inside the room tilts. It's a nursery, or it used to be. A crib lies on its side, bars twisted. Toys float in a shallow pool of water, bobbing gently like lost ships. A lamp leans against the wall, its cord dipping into the water like a drowned tail. A rocking chair sits perfectly upright, untouched, a blanket draped across it, patterned with faded blue waves. But you don't see the rest. You see the child, standing in the corner. Little boy, bare feet, yellow raincoat, dark curls matted against his forehead. Eyes wide and unblinking, staring at you as if he's been waiting for you for years. Your throat locks. You take one step inside. The boy tilts his head. An angle you recognize as if you've seen it reflected in a mirror long ago. Your dog whines softly. The weakened dog in your arms stirs, struggling to lift its head. The boy moves. One tiny step forward, then another. His feet make no splash in the water, though it's ankle deep across the floor. He stops in front of you, small enough that you have to lower your gaze to meet his. You inhale slowly. "Hey," your voice cracks. "Are you okay?" He doesn't reply. He lifts his hand instead. In it, he's holding something. A photograph. His arm trembles as he reaches toward you. Your dog presses closer, leaning into your leg, but doesn't stop you. You take the photo from the boy's tiny fingers. Your skin goes cold immediately. It's the same family photo, the one from the wall, the one floating on the porch, the one you couldn't bring yourself to flip earlier. This copy is clearer, protected, smoothed by careful hands. You see the faces, the woman, the boy, the dog, and the man standing behind them. You recognize yourself instantly. You don't know how you could have forgotten a moment like that, a family like that, a life like that. But you did. Your hands shake. Something moves inside the boy's expression, something that should be relief or happiness or recognition, but twists wrong at the edges. He blinks slowly, then his lips part. A small voice pushes out, fragile and thin. "You came back." The words punch all the air out of your lungs. You grip the photograph tightly, staring at him, feeling your knees threaten to buckle. You can't finish the sentence. I didn't know." He steps closer, just enough to place a tiny hand against your soaked coat. His fingers press lightly against your ribs. The weakened dog in your arms lets out a thin, broken cry. That's when the boy's smile collapses. His eyes widen. His mouth opens in a silent gasp. He steps back, then back again. "No," he whispers. "No, no, not again." Your stomach twists violently. "Not what again?" you ask, voice trembling. The boy lifts his hand and points at the weakened dog in your arms, at its ribs, at its eyes, at the water dripping from its fur. Not when he's like that, the boy whispers. Not when he's almost gone. Your dog growls suddenly, not at the boy, at the floor, because behind you, out in the hall, the water begins to shift again. Not the slow pulse of a house settling, not the dragging crawl from earlier. This time, it moves with purpose, rising, curling, pulling toward the nursery like something alive. Your heart stumbles. We have to leave, you say. The boy shakes his head violently. No, you can't take him back through the water. Why? Your voice rises in panic. Because that's how he finds you. The water outside the nursery surges upwards, slamming against the doorframe. Your dog barks, sharp, terrified. The weakened dog in your arms shivers violently once, then goes still. Too still. No, no, no! Stay with me! You shake, clutching it against your chest. Stay with me. The boy's eyes fill with tears. He isn't dying, the boy whispers, but his voice fractures. He's remembering. The walls shake. The water roars. Something hits the house from below so hard the floor lifts. Your dog stumbles. The photograph slips from your fingers and lands in the water. You bend down, grabbing the boy's shoulders. Tell me the truth, you gasp. Who is he? The boy presses a trembling hand to the weakened dog's fur, then to your dog's fur, then to your chest. You, he whispers, brought them both. A chill slides through you so violently you almost drop everything. What? They're the same, the boy says, voice breaking. They were split the day the storm took you. Your breath stops. Your grip tightens. The boy steps closer and presses his forehead to yours. You left us, he whispers, but you didn't mean to. You feel yourself break open. You're my... A deafening crash cuts you off. The house lurches. The water at the door bursts inward like a living wall. Your dog leaps in front of you. The boy screams, and the weakened dog in your arms opens its eyes wide, not with fear, with clarity, with memory, with recognition of you. You don't have time to process it, because from the hallway, a bloated hand rises from the floodwater, then an arm, then a head, not the father, not the drowned man, something else, something wearing the sea-like skin, something coming straight for you. The thing rising from the water doesn't move like a drowned body. It moves like the water itself decided to stand up and take shape. A human outline, arms, shoulders, a head bowed under dripping strands of seaweed. But every piece of it is too fluid, too soft, as if the body is carved out of tidewater and memory, held together only by the will of whatever is puppeting it. Your dog's reaction confirms it before your mind can. Pure, feral terror. His bark rips out of him, high and frantic, claws sliding across the soaked nursery floor as he steps backward, trying to put himself between you and the thing that should not be standing. The boy grabs your sleeve with tiny, shaking fingers. That's not my dad, he whispers. Water pours from the creature's fingertips, hitting the floor with the gentlest sound, like tiny raindrops, mocking the storm outside. The weakened dog in your arms lifts its head, trembling violently. Its eyes, cloudy minutes ago, now gleam with something impossibly sharp. Recognition, fear, memory. It tries to stand, fails, but its gaze never leaves the approaching thing. Your throat tightens. What is it? You whisper. The boy shakes his head in tiny jerks. He followed you back. He always follows you back. The words hit you like a stone in the chest. The water at the door rises another inch. The creature's foot, or what passes for one, slips into the nursery. Ripples spread unnaturally fast, circling the room as though searching for someone. For you, you take a step backward, clutching the weakened dog. The boy moves with you, instinctively taking your free hand. Your other dog presses into your leg, pushing you, herding you toward the rocking chair in the corner. Your breath comes in sharp, broken gasps. What does it want? You manage. The boy swallows hard. You. The answer stuns you. There's no accusation, no anger, just a simple truth. A child should never have needed to learn. The water creature lifts its head. Its eyes are hollow sockets, but deep inside them glimmers a dim, shifting light. It sees you, and it steps forward. Your dog snarls again, louder, more desperate. His whole body trembles with the effort of holding his ground, but he refuses to back away. The creature's gaze slides to him, and something changes. It stops. Stillness drowns the room for a moment. The creature tilts its head, watery neck bending with impossible softness. Not like a curious person, but like a wave curling in slow motion before breaking. It recognizes your dog, not the weakened one, the one guarding you. The creature lifts its arm. Water rolls down its fingers in sheets. Then, it points at your dog. The boy yanks your sleeve. He remembers him, the boy whispers. He always remembers him first. Your dog goes rigid, ears pinned back. You drop to your knees beside him, hand on his back. "It's okay," you whisper, though you don't believe it. Your dog's heartbeat pounds against your palm. The creature takes another step. Water sloshes, cold enough that your breath frosts in the air. The weakened dog in your arms lets out a tiny broken bark. Once, twice, a sound barely alive. The creature jerks, its whole body ripples violently, as though struck by lightning underwater. The faint light in its hollow eyes flickers. You don't understand, but the boy does. He knows that bark, he says. He used to come when he heard it. Your mind spins. This thing, your voice shakes. It's reacting to the dogs? The boy nods. They were both part of what happened. What happened, you demand? He grips your coat, eyes huge. The day you left. Your heart slams so hard your vision blurs. The creature lurches forward suddenly, too fast for something half-liquid. Your dog lunges at the same moment, teeth bared. "No!" you shout, pulling him back. He snarls, fur bristling, body vibrating with protective rage. But he listens, stepping back toward you, though every muscle screams to attack. The creature stops again. Its head twitches, its body ripples, it seems confused. The weakened dog emits another tiny bark, too quiet to echo. The creature shudders violently, like those sounds strike some fragment of memory lodged deep inside whatever is left of its mind. You look down at the weakened dog. Its eyes, once clouded, meet yours with clarity, not dog clarity, recognition, like a person trying to surface from behind them. Your breath staggers. "Who are you?" you whisper. A faint whisper of breath escapes its nose, a near word, or the ghost of one. Your dog's ears twitch. The boy takes a step closer. "You know him," the boy whispers to you. You close your eyes because the truth hits your ribcage like a hammer. You do. You don't know how. You don't know from when. But you know you've held this dog before. Not like this, frail and dying, but alive, bounding, jumping into your arms on the porch steps, running circles around a child in a yellow raincoat. The creature suddenly collapses to its knees. The water around it rolls outward, slamming against the walls. Your dog yelps and backs up. The boy shrinks behind your leg. The creature raises its head toward you, and in a voice soaked in water and regret, it gurgles, "You left us! You freeze! The air in your lungs dies!" The creature speaks again, voice mangled by drowned lungs. "You left us, but you didn't remember." The boy starts crying. The weakened dog lets out a pained sound, like a whine dragged across broken glass. Your own dog presses against you, shaking. The creature staggers forward on hands and knees, each movement jerky, unnatural, as if fighting the sea for control of its body. It reaches toward you. Your heart slams against your ribs. Your legs want to run. Your arms want to shield the boy. Your instinct wants to protect the dogs. But your memory, your lost memory, keeps you frozen. The creature's reach stops inches from your boot. It lowers its head. The water dripping from its fingers forms tiny concentric ripples across the floor. "Your fault," it whispers. "My fault. The storm, the split. The word echoes. You look at the two dogs, two halves, two pieces, two lives that should have been one. "I didn't know," you whisper, voice cracking. "I don't remember." The creature howls, a choking, gurgling cry of agony. Not anger, sorrow, grief so deep it splits the room like lightning. The boy screams and covers his ears. Your dog barks frantically. The weakened dog shivers uncontrollably. The entire nursery rattles. And then, the creature collapses completely, its body dissolving into water that floods across the floor, washing backward toward the hallway like a retreating tide. You stare at the empty space where it knelt. The boy sobs quietly. Your dog whines, nudging your arm. The weakened dog lifts its head one last time and whispers, barely audible, "Remember! You clutch it tighter. I'm trying," you whisper. "I'm trying. I swear I'm trying." The boy steps forward and touches your wrist. "You don't have much time," he says. Your breath catches. "Time for what?" He looks at the door where the water retreated. The hallway is empty. "Too empty. He's coming back," the boy whispers. "And next time, he won't stop." The hallway beyond the nursery lies still. Too still. The water that swept through moments ago has flattened into a smooth, glass-like surface. No ripples, no movement. As if the house has paused, waiting. The silence rings in your ears, a high, thin note that feels almost electrical. Your dog steps closer to the threshold, rigid, tail low, nose raised. He doesn't bark this time. He just listens, every muscle taut like an arrow pulled to full draw. Behind you, the boy wipes his face with the sleeve of his damp yellow raincoat. His breathing is uneven, hiccuping around the edges, but he's trying to stay composed. You see that effort. It hurts to watch. The weakened dog in your arms presses its head to your chest, breath warm but faint, coated with a softness that feels too close to the end. You touch the top of its head gently. "We're not losing you," you whisper. But even as you say it, the truth presses into you. Something deep inside this animal is slipping. Memory, life, something essential, and the storm wants to take what remains. The boy places a hand on your wrist. There's a way to fix him. Your breath stops. Your dog turns to look at the child, ears twitching. "How?" you ask. The boy shakes his head. "Not here, not in the house. The storm, it pulls things apart. People, animals, even memories." You stare at him, heart pounding. "It split the dogs," he nods once, a soft, sad motion. "He got caught in it. The day you left. You swallow. Hard. I didn't choose to leave." "I know," he whispers. Your chest tightens painfully. You kneel in front of the boy. "What happened to me?" A long silence. The boy's lips tremble, and he looks down at his bare feet, toes curling in the shallow water. "You tried to save us. You freeze. We were on the beach," he says quietly. "Me, you, Mom, and him." He gestures weakly to the weakened dog. "You two went out on the rocks. Mom shouted for you to come back." The storm came too fast, way too fast. The waves didn't look real, like they were moving wrong, like something underneath them was pushing up. The house groans faintly, as if reacting to his words. The boy flinches. Your dog presses closer. "You grabbed me before the wave hit," the boy says. "You held onto me so tight I couldn't breathe." His voice cracks. "And then the water took you. Your mind splits open. A memory you never asked for surges forward. Salt water, cold, a scream, a child's thin arms around your neck, a dog barking frantically from the rocks. A shadow rising in the wave. Not a creature, not a human. The storm itself bending around you. Your knees nearly give out. You grip the rocking chair to steady yourself. The boy's eyes fill again. When the storm hit, something happened. It didn't just take you, it broke you. The weakened dog stirs weakly. You stroke its head, voice trembling. "Broke me how?" "You split," the boy whispers, like he did. He points at the weakened dog, and then at your dog. Your breath stops, your eyes widen. "No," you whisper, "that can't mean." The boy steps forward and places his small hand on the weakened dog's back, then on your dog's back, then gently touches your chest. "You three weren't supposed to be separate," he says. "Not like this." A sick, disorienting dizziness grips you. "I'm not whole." "You're not who you were," the boy replies. "Not until you put it back together." You stare at the weakened dog. Recognition flickers behind its eyes again. Your dog leans in, nose touching the weakened one gently. A soft whine slips from his throat, sad, longing, familiar. A sound you've heard in your sleep, in dreams without faces, in memories without names. Your chest aches. "Tell me how," you whisper. The boy lifts his chin, voice small but steady. "You need to go outside." Your heart stutters. "Into the storm?" you ask. He nods. "Onto the rocks, the same place you broke." The floor beneath your feet vibrates softly, not with footsteps, with a pulse, like the house itself is warning you that there isn't much time. Your dog barks once, sharp, decisive, he's ready. But the weakened dog trembles violently, letting out a sound that shatters you completely, fear mixed with longing. "I can't carry both," you say softly, more to yourself than anyone. The boy looks up at you. He steps forward, holds out his arms. "Give him to me," he says. "He trusts me. He always did. You hesitate." His small hands tremble but don't falter. His eyes hold none of the fear you expected, only determination. Your dog nudges your arm gently, urging you. Finally, slowly, you lower the weakened dog into the boy's arms. The boy holds him tightly, carefully, as if cradling something sacred. Your heart clenches. The boy whispers to him, "It's okay. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna put it back." The weakened dog closes its eyes briefly, peace washing over its features. Then, the house shakes violently. Water explodes through the hallway, slamming against the nursery walls. Your dog barks, spinning toward the sound. Something rises in the flood again. But this time it moves faster, more deliberate, fueled by something hungry. The boy's eyes widen. "He's coming!" You step between the boy and the hallway. "Which way out?" you demand, voice trembling between fear and resolve. The boy points to the far corner of the room where a window once was, now broken, jagged shards of glass framing a dark sky. "Through there," he says. "It leads straight to the rocks." You grab his free hand. He clutches the weakened dog close. Your dog steps behind you, ready to defend. The roar from the hallway grows louder, water rising like a tidal breath. "You run!" The floor tilts beneath your feet as you sprint across the nursery, dodging fallen beams and overturned furniture. Your boots skid on wet wood, but you don't stop. The broken window looms ahead, a jagged mouth opening onto the storm-dark world outside. Wind howls. Rain slashes sideways. Waves crash against the distant rocks. "Behind you!" Something massive slams into the doorway, water spraying outward in a violent burst. You throw one arm around the boy's waist. "Jump!" you shout. You leap through the broken window and land on soaked sand just as the house behind you screams. Wood splinters. Waiter erupts. Something heavy bursts through the nursery wall, and the storm takes its shape again. But you're outside, and the rocks are waiting. The sand hits your knees hard enough to send a shock up your spine, but you don't stop. You scramble forward, dragging the boy with you as he clutches the weakened dog protectively to his chest. Your other dog lands beside you with a thud, shakes violently, and immediately turns back toward the fractured house. Behind you, the nursery wall collapses outward. Water erupts from the broken structure like a living wave, ripping beams and shattered plaster with it. And then, rising from the center of the collapse, the storm creature pulls itself free again. It's bigger now, less human, more water than bone, more storm than man. The earlier shape, barely holding together, has thickened, tightened. The hollow sockets glow with a deeper, colder light. Its limbs move in long, dragging sweeps, as if every gesture pulls more of the storm into form. You stumble backward, dragging the boy and the weakened dog with you. Your dog barks at the creature, a furious string of sounds slicing through the roar of the wind. The creature responds by turning its head toward him, and the beach shivers under your feet. "Keep moving!" you shout. The boy nods, trying to hold the weakened dog tighter as you all rush across the wet sand. The storm claws at you, wind slashing your skin, rain pelting your face, air thick with brine. The world has become one heaving organism of water and wind and grief, and every part of it seems to be converging on you. Lightning flashes, brief, white-hot veins ripping across the sky. For an instant, the world becomes bright enough to see the path ahead, the rocks, the jagged black shapes jutting from the sea like broken teeth, the place where you nearly drowned, the place where the boy last saw you alive, the place the storm split you, the place you must return to. Something inside your chest flares, recognition, pain, memory, barely a whisper, but enough to jolt you forward. Your dog sprints ahead, then back, circling you all in frantic loops, urging you on. The limp in his hind leg is more pronounced now, but he refuses to slow. Behind you, the storm creature lets out a sound, a groan, a wail, a grief-stricken howl that vibrates through the ocean itself. The boy freezes momentarily, tears mixing with rain. "He didn't want to be like this," the boy whispers. The storm changed him. It changes everything it keeps. You grab his arm. "What happens on the rocks?" you shout above the wind. His small voice trembles. "The pieces go back, but only if you face what took you." The weakened dog's breathing shudders. Your heart threatens to break in half. "Hold on," you tell him. "Tell all of them. Tell yourself." You reach the base of the rocks just as a wave slams into them, spraying cold water across your legs. The stones are slick, algae-coated, angled wrong for climbing. But your body remembers something you don't. Your fingers move automatically. Your boots find footholds without you thinking. Your weight shifts the way it once did. It's as though your muscles recall what your mind forgets. The boy struggles behind you, trying to climb while holding the weakened dog. "I've got him," you say, reaching down. He hesitates. Trust flickers in his eyes. Not blind, not simple deep, earned somewhere in the past you lost. He places the weakened dog into your arms. Its body is lighter now, too light. You cradle it against your chest. Your other dog climbs the rocks beside you, paws slipping, nails scraping, but he fights to stay with you. His eyes never leave the storm creature. Halfway up the rocks, the storm roars again. The creature reaches the shoreline. Its form rises taller, towering now, distorted by rain-streaked shadows and flickering lightning. Each wave that hits the beach seems to pull more of the creature into being. It takes a step forward. The sand around its feet sinks, liquefying into black water. Your dog barks at it again, but the sound is swallowed instantly by the storm. You reach the top of the rocks, the place where you once stood holding your son, the place where the wave took you, the place where the storm fractured your life, and for the first time, something inside your memory cracks open. A flash, your son screaming as the wave hit, your hands slipping, the dog barking from the rocks. Your own voice calling back. Water closing over your head, a second wave hitting harder than the first, a cold hand grabbing your wrist, then nothing but darkness. You grip the rock so tightly your knuckles ache. The boy climbs beside you, panting, soaked, terrified, but determined. Your dog stands on your other side, leaning against your leg. The weakened dog presses its head into your chest, breath fluttering like a dying flame. The storm creature reaches the base of the rocks. It stops and raises its head. Lightning exposes its full face, not a monster, not a stranger, but a broken, half-remembered version of yourself. Your heart stops cold. The creature's mouth opens, and your own voice, warped by water and rot, comes out. You left them! Your lungs collapse. I didn't! You shout over the storm. I didn't leave! I was taken! The creature lifts an arm. Your arm twisted by storm and grief. You forgot them. Rain stings your skin like glass. I didn't choose to forget! Your dog growls in fury. The creature takes another step onto the rocks. The boy clutches your coat. Stop! He cries. You're hurting him! The creature snaps its head toward the boy. Its eyes glow. The wind shrieks. Buckets of seawater slam against the rocks. You shield the boy instinctively. Enough! You yell at the creature. If you want me, take me, but leave them out of it! The creature hesitates. The boy steps forward only an inch, but it's enough for his voice to cut through the storm. You didn't come back wrong, he whispers. You didn't come back broken. You came back split. The weakened dog makes a sound, a soft trembling whine. The boy looks at it, then at your dog, then at you. You have to fix it, he says. All of you have to go back together. The creature lets out a roar that shakes the rocks. Your dog nudges your hand desperately. The weakened dog lifts its head one final time, eyes sharp, clear, and you see it. So suddenly, it almost knocks you over. The two dogs aren't separate beings. They are the same dog, one split by trauma, by storm, by memory. Just like you, one half got strength, one half got memory. You swallow a cry. You kneel between them. Your dog presses his head to your shoulder. The weakened one presses to your heart. You're both him, you whisper, both mine. The creature shudders violently, its watery face collapsing as if in grief. The boy's voice rises above the storm. Put him together. How? You shout. The boy points at the creature. At the same place where you broke. Lightning splits the sky. The creature roars and charges up the rocks. Your dog barks, leaping to defend you. The creature climbs the rocks in lunging, heaving motions, each step collapsing, reforming, and surging forward again as if the storm itself is forcing it toward you. Wind lashes against your skin. The sea roars beneath your feet. Rain stings your face so sharply it tastes like blood and salt. Your dog is already in front of you, teeth bared, growling with a courage that looks too large for his thin frame. The weakened dog trembles in your arms, breathing fast, eyes locked on the creature as though watching a familiar nightmare climb back into the world. The boy clings to your coat, jaw clenched, small body trembling but refusing to run. The creature stops 10 feet from you. Lightning tears the sky open. For one split second, the world freezes in white light, and you see everything clearly. The broken half of yourself, drowned, fractured, lost beneath the waves, has been clawing through storm after storm, year after year, searching for what it lost, searching for you, searching for the parts that were ripped from him in the moment the wave took you and the dogs and shattered your life. He didn't come to destroy you. He came to become whole. He came to take back what was stolen. He came to end the fracture. Your breath shreds in your throat. You step forward. Your dog tries to block you, but you place your free hand on his neck, steadying him. He whines, licking your wrist, unwilling to let you go. It's okay, you whisper, though nothing about this moment feels okay. I know what I have to do. The creature raises its head. Your own voice drowned, distorted, hollow gurgles out. Come back! The weakened dog stiffens in your arms. Then, slowly, painfully, it begins to climb out of your hold. No, you whisper, clutching it gently. You won't survive the climb, but it moves anyway. Its paw presses to your chest, then to the chest of your other dog, then reaches shakily toward the creature. The three of you form a line. 3 fragments of the same tragedy, 3 pieces of the same storm, 3 beings broken in the same impossible moment. Your dog steps forward until he's at your side. The weakened one stays pressed tight to your heart. The creature, dripping, shaking, lifts its arm as though asking for permission to exist. And you finally understand. This isn't a monster. This is the part of you that drowned. You take one breath, then another, and you step toward him. The storm screams in protest. Waves slam against the rocks. Wind sprouts teeth and claws. Lightning rips the sky again and again until the world flickers like a dying candle. But you keep moving. The boy shouts behind you, "Hold on to both of them! Don't let go!" Your dog presses against your leg, leaning into your stride, supporting you with every step. The weakened one trembles, falling limp in your arms, but its eyes shine with clarity. You reach the center of the rocks, the exact point where the wave broke you, the exact point where the fracture began. The creature stands inches from you now. Its face shifts and warps, alternating between something human and something made of rain. Its arms shake violently, as if fighting against the storm's command. It reaches toward you. Your dog growls. The weakened dog whines. And you! You raise your hand and press it to the creature's chest. The surface feels like the ocean in winter, freezing, crushing, endless. Your breath stops, your heart stutters. And in the creature's voice, your voice, someone whispers, "Home." Something breaks, not outside, not in the storm, inside you. The memory slams through you with the force of the original wave. You holding your son, screaming for the dog to run. The dog refusing to leave. Another wave stabbing upward like a spear. Your foot slipping, your head cracking against rock. The world splitting in half. Your dog split with you. Your identity ripped clean down the middle. One half sinking back into the ocean. One half washed ashore, blank, breathing, alive but not whole. Your knees buckle, you gasp and grip the creature harder. A sound bursts from your throat, a raw, keening sob you didn't know you still had inside you. Your dog presses into your side, howling. The weakened one shivers, curling against your chest. The creature trembles, fingers clawing at your coat as if desperate to hold on. The boy screams through the storm, "Put them together first!" You look down at the two dogs. Your dog, loyal, brave, all instincts. The weakened dog memory, grief, everything that was torn away. You kneel on the rock. "I'm sorry," you whisper. "I'm so sorry I left you like this." Your dog lowers his head, nudging your hand. The weakened dog presses its forehead into your palm. You place them nose to nose. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, a bolt of lightning hits the ocean. The weakened dog gasps, arches, lets out a low, broken sound, and light pours from its ribs. Your dog jerks back, eyes going wide as light spreads across his chest too, then merges with the other dog's glow. The world blurs, the storm screams, the rocks shudder. The weakened dog collapses, but your dog catches it, pressing his muzzle to its throat, and light surges between them, a thread pulled tight and then pulled tighter, until with a final, breathless blink, there is no weakened dog, just one whole dog, breathing, alive, eyes bright with recognition and love and memory all at once. A single being reunited with itself. Your hands shake violently as you hold him. He licks your cheek. You choke on a sob. The creature in front of you collapses to its knees, bowing its head as if the weight of the storm is crushing it. The boy screams again through the roar of the wind. "Now you!" Your dog presses against you, urging you forward. The storm creature reaches out, a trembling hand. Your hand! The hand of the part of you that drowned. You press your palm against its. Cold floods your veins instantly. Saltwater memories crash through your body, swallowing years of wandering, years of forgetting, years of not knowing why you felt incomplete. Pain, grief, regret, love, everything you lost, everything you pushed away, everything the storm swallowed, rushes back into you like the tide reversing. The creature shudders. Its watery form begins to collapse inward, not dissolving, returning. To you, you gasp as something punches into your chest. Not physical, something deeper. Your breath catches, then steadies, then comes stronger. You feel presence, you feel weight, you feel yourself, you feel whole. The creature's face, your drowned reflection, looks at you one last time. It whispers, "Thank you," and collapses into you like a wave folding back into the sea. Your knees hit the rock. Your vision blurs. Your chest burns with a heat so deep it could be life or lightning or both. Your dog nudges your shoulder, whining. The boy drops beside you, wrapping his arms around you from the side. "You're back," he whispers. "You're finally back." The storm's scream softens, the wind weakens, the waves fall into slower rhythms. Rain drops lightly, sweetly, like a blessing instead of a threat. The sky brightens at its edges. Your breath shakes as you gather both the boy and your dog into your arms. You whisper, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't come back sooner." The boy's tears fall against your neck. "You came back," he says. "That's all I wanted." Your dog nuzzles your hand, and for the first time in so many lost years, you feel whole. The storm calms completely. Sunlight breaks the clouds. You stand, not as a fractured, wandering ghost, but as a father, a partner who remembers, a man reunited with himself and the dog who never stopped searching for him. And with your son's hand in one of yours and your dog pressed against your other side, you walk off the rocks, back toward a world you can finally belong to again. The weakened dog twists weakly in your arms. The storm crashes down. You stand. For the first time since you returned to this place, you don't run.